Here we are on the back of the, what is the name of this boat here?
Oh, it's a vintage.
And it is vintage. It is a gorgeous boat. The only bad part about this whole show is that these guys have these amazing tans here, and I feel like Casper the Ghost. But, you know, it's what I do for a living. But anyway, I'm having a lot of fun out here. So, Bob, let's talk a little bit about some of your stories here. So you've done something with each of these guys. They're all buddies, right?
You bet. We've had some terrific times, and I miss them.
Right.
Wish we were still doing them, Michael.
Now, there is one story where you and Michael actually are now teachers in a way. You had a video, and of course Todd here does a lot of instructing and educator, right? And you, but he's a legitimate educator. So you came into this kind of in a backwards way, and it was an interesting story where you were out on Midway Island. Take us into that story a little bit, Bob.
Okay, well, this was, I think, 2002, if I remember right. I was invited with Michael Folks to go on a trip to Midway, and Michael had done a trip a couple years before, and I saw the footage, and I said, you got to take me next time, buddy. I got to go on this trip.
It's Hawaii 100 years ago. We were the first 12 civilians to be on the island in over 50 years. Wow. It was a strategic naval air command that had a restricted zone. Nobody within 200 miles could fly or get close to that island.
Oh,
no fishing or diving or anything.
So no crowds too.
Yeah.
So
And the Navy gave it up, and they allowed this one company, I think it was Phoenix Corporation. They started a charter business there, fishing and diving, and you could go over for a week and spend a week there, and that's what we did. We actually got to go to one of the other Northwest islands, Curry, I think it was Curry, that was, I think, about 50 miles from Midway Island. We got to go out on that one day there, and as soon as we got to the island, they started chumming some yellowfin tuna that they had on a carcass and started casting them out, and the giant trevallies, they're GTs.
when you say giant, how big is a giant trevally?
80 to 120 pounds. Okay. Yeah, they're big fish.
Okay.
Junkyard dogs.
Junkyard dogs.
They own the reef.
Like a goat.
They own the reef.
Oh, okay.
Sharks won't get near them. They headbutt the sharks. The pit bulls of the reef.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
But dangerous to be in the water with those?
No,
not so much. Okay.
But they're aggressive.
I had a silver band around my snorkel, and it came up and the silver band bit my ear, and another one headbutted me in the ribs.
That's on video too, Michael. I think I was down about 10 or 15 feet and shooting up at you. And I saw that one come up and nail you and get your snorkel.
And by doing that, they keep all the sharks down below the feed line.
Okay. So the sharks are down below?
The sharks are down below. They're circling down below, but they won't come up because the GTs will...
They don't want to go to that neighborhood.
Hit them in the gills.
Oh, got them. Okay. So, there they are. Sharks are down below.
So anyway, I'm in the water videoing, and the couple of guys are casting poppers, and I'm getting all the action of the GTs grabbing these poppers and nailing them. Later on in the day, when we're about ready to leave, I told Michael, I says, hey, we still got this carcass on the boat. I says, why don't we try hand feeding them? We both get in the water with this.
Wait. Who said, oh, okay. Was that you that said it, or was that...
Bob suggested, and I said, okay, let me grab the camera. I'll jump in.
So he gets in the water with me, and he's hanging onto my weight belt behind me, and we're just right off the boat, off the stern of the boat, and I'm holding this, it was about a 3-foot yellowfin tuna carcass. It just basically
Heavy.
The ribs was all that was left.
Oh, okay.
And I start shaking it a little bit, and the first GT comes up and grabs it and starts shaking it, and from there on it just went nuts. I mean, they all came up, and then of course we're getting towed around and we're getting splashed, and all you can see is water splashing, and you can hear us giggling out of our snorkels. Then all of a sudden we hear the guys on the boat saying, shark, get out of the water, you guys, get out of the water. And we kind of look up, Dumb and Dumber, what? Anyway, we were so lucky that we didn't accidentally get bit one way or another.
Eaten alive, I think is the word
This
you're
is
trying
after we reviewed the video to see what we shot, because we had no idea, because we were just blinded with all the water splash and stuff. So when we looked at
It's like being in a washing machine.
Oh my God. Oh, good Lord.
yeah, so when we actually videoed,
And so the sharks did come up.
oh yeah, but we didn't know that.
You didn't know it.
We couldn't see. We couldn't
We
see.
didn't know it at first. It was just a white foam, and then all of a sudden the bottom, it was like the bottom of the ocean just came up, and it was all brown shark, brown reef sharks, and Galapagos sharks, and they just attacked. and I had one come right into the lens. I had to hit him in the nose with the camera to get him to turn away from me. He was coming right at us.
Oh my God.
And then, then it became kind of pandemonium, and I said, I'm getting out of here. I let go. Left Bob out there and swam to the boat.
You left Bob out there. But you made it back, obviously. You're
we were
here.
so lucky because, we, like I say, when we looked at the video, previewed it later, we had a bunch of divers that we invited that evening to watch with us, and when they saw that video and they looked and saw what we did, they said, Dumb and Dumber, Dumb and Dumber. So that was our new nickname. From that video that we that Michael produced, a lot of the people in Florida that do shark feeding decided to use that as a training film for newbies, ones that want to become shark. What's the right word? Handlers or
whisperers.
Yeah. This is what you don't do.
So in a sense, you are an educator, just like Captain Todd.
That came out of this.
Oh man! Yeah, looking back, it's a lot of fun, but man, that's
It could have been a tragic situation, but we got very, very lucky in not getting bit.
so. The educational thing to take away to our viewers: do not grab a 60-pound piece of tuna and try to feed it by hand to giant trevallies or sharks. Have I got it in a nutshell?
Yeah.
At Midway Island.
Don't try to feed sharks. Period.
Right.
Yeah, I don't
Now-
care, or any kind of fish, really.
I kind of knew that already, something about me, but it's nice to have that visual for the students.
Yeah, but we sold a lot of video that way.